Hey everybody, what's going on? Brendan Miller here, back with another video. Today I want to talk about 5 ways you can customize your own fishing lures to add your own unique and creative spin on them. Let's go. So the first way to customize a fishing lure is customizing the weight, and you can do that by buying these Storm Suspend strips. These are essentially little lead strips that are sticky on the bottom. You can add these to pretty much anything. You could add them to spinner baits to increase the weight. You could add them to a floating jerkbait to make them more neutrally buoyant, or my favorite thing to do with these is add them to tiny, light crankbaits. I love throwing really small crankbaits, but a lot of times they are so light it's hard to get them to cast far. This is a great way to add some more weight to those baits, and the great thing about these suspend strips is that they lay close enough to the body of the bait that it's not really going to disrupt the action. One of the easiest ways to customize a lure is modify the actual hooks. We see this a lot with topwater baits where they'll have a feathered trailer out the back. You can pick up packs of feathered trailers that are already pre-tied. I would recommend adding them to crankbaits. One of the things that I'm planning on doing with these is add them to my KVD 1.5 square bills. This is going to add just a little bit of added attraction, and in cases where the fish are a little more finicky, it can make all the difference. You could also buy treble hooks that have little blades attached to the back of them, and this is another great way to add a little bit of flash and to add something to your favorite crankbait that the fish may have not seen before. Alright, let's talk about soft plastics. One easy way to modify and customize soft plastics and give them a little extra pizzazz is to pick up some marabou feathers. Now traditionally you see these in marabou jigs and they are used to tie flies. I would recommend pick up some marabou feathers and use them to customize soft plastics. By the way, shout out to Fin Feather and Fur Outfitters. If you live in Ohio, check these guys out. They're fantastic. For this example, I'm going to use a Zoom Fluke. As you can see, I cut the initial tail off with a scissors. Next, I take a nail and punch a hole into the back of the tail. Then I pluck out a nice piece of marabou with the stem still intact, and you can basically insert it into that hole, and then you can trim it to length. This is a really cool hack, and I'm definitely going to be using this year. And the great thing is, this is not limited to flukes. You could do this with Senkos, you could do this with craws, and you can buy a number of different colors of marabou, so the combinations are endless. You just got to be a little creative. The next way you can customize lures very, very easily is buying skirts. Now you can pick up these Strike King skirts right here, and these are awesome. They come pre-assembled, and they literally just slide up the shank of your hook. So you can replace the skirts on your favorite jig or spinnerbait very, very easily. But I would recommend get creative with what you put skirts on. For instance, I put a skirt on the back of this popper right here, and let me tell you, the results are pretty awesome. It kind of reminds me of a classic hula popper. It's pretty cool. But again, the fact that these are so interchangeable and so easy to use means you can do a lot with them. So get creative. And last but not least, I want to talk about repurposing old beat up crankbaits. I have a lot of old beat up crankbaits. Now you could theoretically repaint these lures, and if you're up to that, go for it. But that is something that is quite complicated and it takes a little bit of finesse. Well, I found a company that provides an easy solution for this. This company is called Crank Wraps. And basically what they do is they provide skins that simply stick to your bait and give it a whole new look. They have some really cool designs. I especially like this bluegill pattern right here. It's really realistic. Now, these people are not paying me in any way to say this. I bought some of these with my own money and tried them out, and I gotta say, they work pretty good. Essentially, what you do is you buy a skin from their website that matches the exact model of crankbait that you have, and then you basically just stick these things on, maybe add a little bit of heat to smooth out the wrinkles, and in a couple of minutes, as you can see, we took these old beat-up crankbaits and we turned them into something new and very usable. Now, let me just say this. When it comes to installing these skins, I would highly recommend you watch some instructional videos that this company provides, because it can be a little bit tricky to get the hang of it, but once you do, it's actually very easy, and like I said, it's a great way to repurpose old baits or maybe add some new pizzazz to a bait you already have. One of the things I was concerned about with these skins is how durable they would be once I put them on my bait. Well, let me just say, I tried to peel some of these skins off. It is quite difficult to peel off, and the skin basically has to destroy itself in order to come off. So these are very, very stout and extremely sticky. Like I mentioned, I'm not sponsored by Crank Wraps in any way, but guys, if you see this, hit me up. I'd love to talk. I like your product. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found these tips helpful. Again, these are some creative ways you can customize the lures that you already have at home and give them a little bit of unique flair. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to support the channel, please check out the links in the video description. And as always, stay hooked. I'll see you later.